What's good? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's RFG. I'm back at it. I'm back on YouTube. All right. Um, I go by the name of RFG Chosen One. I had a public YouTube channel that was active from 2014 to 2021. My YouTube channel was terminated June 25th of 2021. And I am now back on the public platform of YouTube, and I'm creating this channel specifically for relationship advice for men and women. And I'm going to be breaking down the history of genders on this YouTube channel. All right. Now, to start this off, I just want everybody listening to know and to realize that everything you were taught in public education system, everything you were taught with mainstream science, everything you were taught with mainstream biology, the evolutionary theory, the main world religions, it's all a lie. Okay? Everything that you've been taught in the mainstream is a lie. All right? And this is exactly why you have multiple military bases around the world where the government would rather shoot you in the head than to let you see what they're hiding. Okay? It's because what I just said is correct. All right? I speak on so many different topics. I speak on dark alchemy, the science of alchemy. I speak on etymology, astrology, cosmology, ancient history that we weren't taught in school, etymology, the history of certain words, the history of certain languages. I go over false flags and psyops. I go over government corruption. I go over ritual sacrifices that were conducted by the U.S. government, whether it's in the music industry, entertainment industry, or if it's a military hit or assassination. I expose those situations as well. Health, and I promote an alkaline vegan lifestyle. I break down everything. Also, rigged sports, the fact that professional sports, it has been rigged since it started, so that those are all of the subjects that I break down on a consistent basis. Now, I was exposing so many hidden truths on YouTube. I'm talking about truths that would just, completely debunked all monotheistic religions. I'm talking about truths that completely exposed the sporting leagues, completely exposed the mainstream education system, debunked, many different theories and notions. And, I was at around the range of in between 95,000 subscribers and 100,000 subscribers right before I got to 100,000 subscribers on June 25th, 2021. They terminated my account on YouTube. So now you can only find my exclusive videos on my Patreon. The link is in the description. And I will be coming up with a official website, which will be available the first week of July. And all of my old YouTube videos that YouTube terminated, they're going to be on the website for people to see for free. I'm also going to have a podcast called the RFG podcast that's going to start up in July as well. All right. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Now, I'm going to break down my opinion on this Kevin Samuels situation. I got to break down my opinion on this Kevin Samuels situation. Now, we all know who Kevin Samuels is. He was a relationship advisor, an image consultant, right? And he spoke out against feminism, modern women's feminism, on his YouTube channel, and he was gaining so much traction and so much notoriety. His subscriber count was growing exponentially due to the fact that Kevin Samuels is like one of those old school Christians, and his demeanor is very like peaceful and non-threatening. And on top of that, he's a devout Christian, all right, with old school values. So like this guy, in a nutshell, he was seen as non-threatening to white America. White America, when they looked at Kevin Samuels, they knew that he never stood like he never exuded an image of a threat to white America. So they embraced him. All right. This guy right here was able to articulate himself in such a way to where he had people of every race, every age, every culture, every religion, all right, listening to this guy. And this guy was able to convince women of every race, every age, every religion to drop their feminist mindset. He was convincing women across the world, regardless of race, regardless of age, regardless of religion, he was convincing modern feminist women to change themselves, to look at themselves in the mirror, accept their strengths, accept their flaws, and for women to take self-accountability for their life decisions. All right? And there were a lot of women that hated this guy's guts, all right, that rebelled against this guy, you know, as expected. And there were also hundreds of thousands, close to millions of women who liked Kevin Samuels and actually, you know, used Kevin Samuels' information to change their lives for the better. You see what I'm saying? This guy was able to successfully get people, you know, together, get people married. Now, do I agree with the current legal marriage system in the United States? No, I don't. No, I don't. Me personally, I think if you're in a relationship with somebody, you guys need to terminate your birth certificate, terminate your social security card, become a sovereign citizen. That way, the government cannot come in and claim any jurisdiction over your relationship. So I'm going to repeat that again. I'm under the belief, according to my research, if you really want to have a relationship with somebody and children with somebody in this country, you need to eradicate your social security card, eradicate your birth certificate, eradicate your state ID, become a sovereign citizen, all right? Either claim your tribal identity or claim your sovereign citizenship, and then you guys can pair bond together without the government being able to intervene in your relationship, all right? And that'll also cancel out the government's jurisdiction over your children, all right? This is very, very important information here. You're going to be learning a lot on this channel, folks. You're going to be learning a lot. All right, so like I said, Kevin Samuels, this guy was a marketing genius. He knew how to portray the right image. He knew the right image he had to have. He knew the right persona he had to carry. So he would appear non-threatening to white America. So white America embraced him. Most so-called black men embraced him. People all over the world embraced this guy and his message. All right. Even certain celebrities. All right. He was getting certain celebrity women to start to change their mindset as well. You see? And when you, as a person, get so popular and gain so much notoriety, and when you're able to have so much influence on society, the powers that be will consider you a threat. All right? You can only get so big and have so much charisma, all right? And so much power of articulation and power of persuasion and, the gift of gab, right? Mixed with the forensic and documented data, which was proving his case, all right? You can only have so much of that to where the government is going to step in and the government is going to intervene and either sabotage your image, delete your YouTube channel, or worst case scenario, they will kill you. They will assassinate you. And in my humble opinion, I believe that Kevin Samuels was assassinated by the United States government. All right? All right, so let's break this down real quick. Kevin Samuels was found dead in an apartment in Atlanta, Georgia. I want to say sometime during the morning and the afternoon of the 5th, of May 5th. And he was in that apartment alone with a Mexican woman, with a Hispanic woman. All right? It was reported that Kevin Samuels dropped dead after going into cardiac arrest. He went into cardiac arrest. All right? And he was dead before the ambulance and the police arrived. They said Kevin Samuels was already dead. Now, here's what I want everybody listening to this video to really grasp and understand. When you have a heart attack, that process actually takes a few hours. Folks, you don't just drop dead. You see what I'm saying? When you have a heart attack. When you have a heart attack, you don't just die instantly. When you have a heart attack, your body goes through a process where it tries to get the heart's rhythm back on track. So that usually will take in between an hour or two, like, in between 30 minutes to an hour at least. You see what I'm saying? So why was it that the police got there? Right when the police got there, this guy was already dead. So if it took the police in between 15 and 25 minutes to get there, right? Let's say it took the police 15 to 25 minutes to get there. That would have left a good 10 to 20 more minutes for them to get to the hospital and start performing CPR or start hitting him with those shock pads, all right, to revive him. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, if the police got there in a timely manner, if the ambulance got there in a timely manner, they would have been able to help revive Kevin Samuels, folks. Folks, when you have a heart attack, you don't just drop dead like that. You don't drop dead instantly. Wake the fuck up. Okay? Now, it came out of the mouth of the Hispanic lady that this guy was with. The Hispanic lady said that Kevin Samuels reported having chest pains, and then he just automatically dropped dead. Folks, I'm here to say that I believe that that is bullshit. I believe this is RFG, right? I'm telling you right now, that story is bullshit. The Hispanic lady was paid off by the CIA to murder Kevin Samuels, right? She was paid off to murder Kevin Samuels. I believe the CIA agents gave her hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they gave her the heart attack gun. They gave her the electromagnetic pulse weapon. It's called an EMP gun, electromagnetic pulse gun. And she had sex with Kevin Samuels. You know, Kevin Samuels felt comfortable around her. He didn't feel threatened by her. So it would be very easy for her to take him out. And then, of course, the CIA told her that they would have her back, and they would always, make it look like he died of natural causes or he died of a Viagra overdose. He died from Red Bull, and he died from a Viagra overdose. Remember, when they assassinate you, they always have to have a fucking alibi. They always have to have an alibi for the goddamn sheeple to believe. Every time they assassinate a prominent figure in society, the government always has to have a goddamn made-up, fabricated story as an alibi to get people to believe that garbage, you see, so it will cover up the fact that the government assassinated the public figure. Okay? This happens all the time. This happens all the time. All right? All right? This happens all the time. You can just go back in history and start naming off the prominent black male figures in history that wanted to make a change in society. All right? So that was the FBI and the CIA's alibi. You give the woman a heart attack gun, an EMP gun, an electromagnetic pulse gun. All right? You pay her off a couple of $100,000, and you tell her that, they will not make her look bad in the public image. They will protect her public image. And they will come up with a story where, of course, her and Kevin Samuels had sexual relations, and they're, all they would have to do is say that Kevin Samuels, he's already getting older. So just say that he overdosed on Viagra and Red Bull, and the goddamn sheep will take it and run with it, and they'll believe it, and they'll never question the goddamn CIA and the FBI, and also the goddamn feminist movement's involvement in Kevin Samuels' assassination. All right? All right, now, let me make this very clear. I respected the hell out of Kevin Samuels and his work ethic and him dedicating his life to his craft. I respect the hell out of Kevin Samuels, but I do not agree with everything that he preached and everything that he taught. I respect Kevin Samuels, but I do not agree with everything that he taught. Now, just because I don't agree with everything that Kevin Samuels taught, that does not mean that he deserved to be assassinated. You feel me? Just because I don't agree with some of his talking points, that does not mean that this guy deserved, what happened to him. You feel me? One of the things that I disagreed with him on, was him trying to push his Christian views and his Christian values, so-called values, on his subscribers and other people. Right? You know what I'm saying? I am not a Christian. I do not abide by, and I do not belong to any monotheist religion. And I'll be breaking that down in other videos as well. Another thing that I don't agree with Kevin Samuels about is the fact that he told certain women that, as long as a man made a certain amount of money, that he was able to cheat and the woman was not allowed to cheat. I don't believe that. I believe firmly that if you tell a woman that you're going to be monogamous with her before your relationship and you both agree to be monogamous, that's what the fuck it is. And both genders are equally as responsible and equally as accountable for holding up their end of the bargain in the relationship. All right? All right? Now, the only thing about that is I tell men that men were not biologically designed to be monogamous creatures, to be monogamous. Men were not biologically designed to be monogamous with only one woman. And I'm going to be proving that with metaphysical information, scientific and biological information to back that claim. All right? So my approach would be to tell men to let women know that, you're not interested in monogamy off tops. You know what I'm saying? Right there before anything gets serious. Always let a woman know. If a woman asks you, always tell her the truth, man. Don't lie to these women. Do not lie to these women. Tell them the truth. All right? If you don't want to be with monogamous, you got to let her know before you get into a relationship with her. And the crazy thing is, most of these women, they can look at a guy's confidence level, a guy's persona, a guy's image, a guy's status, and most of them already know if a man has multiple women or not. All right? Just keeping it real. So when I look at it from the outside looking in, I was very disappointed in most of the women that went on this guy's platform, because it seemed to me like most of the women on his platform, they really didn't give a fuck about making a positive change in society and dropping, their feminist ideologies that were given to them by the corrupt government system. See, the same corrupt government system that we're fighting against is the same corrupt government that gave these women their feminist ideologies. You see, and these women who went on Kevin Samuels' platform, it just seemed like they were carrying this vibe and this energy to where you could tell just by looking in their eyes and looking at their face and their energy that they didn't want to change shit about society. They didn't want to change shit for the positive. They didn't want to drop their feminist ideology. So I believe that most of the women that got on Kevin Samuels' platform were only doing it for clout. We're only doing it for attention and clout. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up. You know, most of the women, I believe, just use that platform for clout. And I honestly think that there's a good portion of women that acted like they were cool with Kevin Samuels, but behind the scenes, they was just another fucking spiteful ass, vindictive ass, bitter ass, single mother. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A lot of fake. You know, when you transition out of this world, the truth will be revealed. Folks, I want you guys to remember this. When you transition out of this world, you will know who your real friends are. When you start perfecting and mastering your life craft, and you start getting notoriety for mastering your craft, you're going to know who your real friends are. And then when you transition, when you die, you'll know who your real friends are, who the real ones are, and who the phonies are, who the real goddamn demons are. Because all you got to do is go to Kevin Samuels' Instagram and look at his latest post, and then look at the comments under his latest post, and start keeping count of the women that are leaving hate comments in the comments after he died. And I'll say over 90% of the women leaving hate comments about under his post, his last post before he died, 90% of the women leaving hate comments are melanated, so-called black women. All right? All right? So, my thing is, if melanated women are so adamant about, a revolution and this whole so-called black power thing, and they're so-called woke, why do they do what no other race of woman does on the planet by bashing their own men and showing hatred towards their own men on a consistent basis? When you look at the races of women, Asian women, Hispanic women, European women, Arab women, African women, Pacific Islander women, you don't see them bashing their men on public platforms. The only women you see do that is the melanated women in America. Now, see, this is not only a biological thing. This is a metaphysical. What's going on in society, it's a spiritual warfare, and it's metaphysical. All right? What's going on between the melanated man and the melanated woman, right? It is completely metaphysical. And there is an entity on this earth that wants to actually get rid of the male sex, right? There's actually an entity on this earth controlling things, right? And this entity is either a hermaphrodite or a female. And it's very ancient, and it controls the black budget government, and the black budget government controls the government we see on a regular basis. So when you look at the pyramid and the pyramid of the hierarchy of the one world order, I believe that the head of it is some kind of entity that is either female or hermaphrodite. And I'm going to be showing evidence for that in future videos. All right, so be on the lookout. Now, these are other reasons why I firmly believe that Kevin Samuels was assassinated. Okay, Kevin Samuels was the biggest spokesperson against modern women's feminist ideologies. Kevin Samuels was the biggest spokesman that spoke against modern women's feminist ideologies. All right? So let's keep that in mind. And his biggest audience that he targeted was single black mothers. His biggest target, all right, as far as his message was mainly for single melanated mothers in the United States. Let's keep that in mind. All right, all right. And Kevin Samuels passed away right after Megan Thee Stallion embarrassed herself on a national platform, all right? And folks, Megan Thee Stallion is basically the biggest, hottest star that is promoting modern feminist ideologies. Megan Thee Stallion right now is the goddamn Mount Rushmore of feminist ideologies. That's what Megan Thee Stallion is right now. All right? Megan Thee Stallion is causing more women to become single mothers more so than any other public figure in the history of fucking humanity. All right? Megan Thee Stallion is a goddamn liability. She is a liability and a poison to the minds of young women of the world. All right? Let's keep this in mind. So just either 2 weeks ago, 10 days to 2 weeks ago, Megan Thee Stallion gets on Gayle King's platform and she makes up all these fucking fake ass stories and fake ass lies against Tory Lanez. All right. And she lied and stuttered and she went back on shit that she said in the past and she changed up her story so many times and she was fake crying with no tears. And, it was so obvious that she was lying. And then when Gayle King asked her if she had sexual relations with Tory Lanez, she paused about fucking 20 to 30 seconds and stuttered and said, oh, no. And we all know that that's a fucking lie. You see what I'm saying? So the main face of feminism was embarrassed on a global scale. And because of this, millions of people canceled Megan Thee Stallion. Millions of her fans dropped her ass after this fucking interview with Gayle King just 2 weeks ago. And you mean to tell me that in less than 2 weeks after the face of feminism gets exposed as a fraud and a fucking liar, you see, and right before Mother's Day, the biggest spokesperson against feminism just magically drops dead. Just magically, the magical pixel fairies came in and sprinkled some pixie dust, and the biggest spokesperson against feminism just magically drops dead. Kevin Samuels didn't even give a fight. He didn't even go through a process of a heart attack. He just dropped dead. Folks, heart attacks last anywhere from a fucking hour to 2 fucking hours, as long as the ambulance shows up on time. You know what I'm saying? From what the Hispanic lady said, this guy just dropped dead right there. Automatically just dropped dead. That's bullshit. She hit his ass with a fucking heart attack gun, folks. She hit him with a heart attack gun. She was paid off by the CIA and the fucking FBI, man. Any melanated man that speaks truth to power and gains a following in the millions is a target, is the number one target for the establishment. Any melanated man that speaks truth to power unapologetically and gains notoriety from millions of people and starts getting acknowledged by entertainers, all right, and politicians, that when you start to do that shit, you become a threat. You become a threat as a melanated man in this nation, all right? All right? And like I said, it's not a fucking coincidence. This is one of the main things that I tell my followers and my subscribers. I told them on my old channel. I tell them on Instagram. I tell them on Patreon. Same thing. Stop believing in coincidences. Stop fucking believing in coincidences. Folks, what happened 2 weeks ago? The face of feminism got exposed for being a liar, okay? And a habitual sociopathic liar and a fucking fraud. See what I'm saying? She got exposed as a liar and a fraud on a global scale. That was a big hit, all right, to the image of melanated women and the image of feminism. You got to understand, when you deal with feminism, you deal with the female brain, and the female brain is all about emotion and outwardly image. It's all about emotion and outwardly image. All right. So this shit right here was a goddamn curveball for the image of feminism. The image of feminism took a huge hit when Megan Thee Stallion got exposed on Gayle King 2 weeks ago. All right. And this right here caused the red pill community to just grow exponentially. This shit right here, she lied. It was so obvious that she lied that the red pill community started growing exponentially, and Megan Thee Stallion started losing millions of fucking followers after this interview. All right. And so, you know, feminism took a huge L. Feminism took a huge fucking L when this shit popped off. And then in less than 2 weeks, after, feminism took that embarrassing L. The spokesperson against feminism just magically drops dead. The spokesperson against feminism just magically drops dead. Folks, stop believing in fucking coincidences. What was Kevin Samuels' main target? His message was mainly for single mothers in the United States, and it just so happened that he dropped dead only a few days before Mother's Day, only 3 days before Mother's Day. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Assassination written all over it. Assassination written all over it. Kevin Samuels was never complaining about no goddamn health issues. he wouldn't have been able, folks, he wouldn't have been able to make videos as consistently as he did if he really had fucking health issues that were that bad. If he had health issues that were that bad, he wouldn't be traveling as much as he was, and he wouldn't be making fucking lives and videos consistently like he was. All right? So the Hispanic lady that he was with the night he was taken out, she said that, oh, he took Viagra that day, and he had some Red Bulls and, his old age, and I guess that's the reason he just dropped dead. Bullshit. Bullshit. They paid her off hundreds of thousands of dollars. They paid her off hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they told her her image would be protected in the mainstream media, and they would spin a story which would make her look innocent. All right? They gave her the heart attack gun, which is an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse gun. I've spoken about it on many different occasions, all right? And folks, this goes along with stop believing in coincidences. Do you really think that every time a melanated man gets a lot of notoriety, millions of followers, right? And then he speaks out against government agendas. He speaks out against government agendas, and just magically, they always find the strangest ways just to magically die before they can reach their full potential. Do you really think that's a fucking coincidence? Folks, you really got to start thinking critically. Go back in history, do your fucking research, and go back in history and take note of all of the melanated men who tried to make a change in society, and right before they could reach their full potential, they just magically died. They just magically went missing. They just magically got hit over the head by a fucking 2x4. They just magically got shot in a dark room. They just magically took a goddamn lethal injection. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You guys have to start using critical thinking skills. The government of the United States, they want you lazy. They want you lazy. They want you complacent. They want you to be a non-innovative thinker and a non-critical thinker. They want you to be a non-innovative, a non-creative, and a non-critical thinker. They don't want critical thinkers. They don't. All right? They want lazy, narcissistic, idol worshippers that have a producer mindset, a reactive mindset, a victim mindset. See, those are the mindsets they want you to have. And they want you to be obsessed with entertainment. They want you to be infatuated with and obsessed with entertainment. All right? They don't want you to have a producer, a creator, an innovator mindset. They don't want you to be a critical thinker, an innovative thinker. They don't want that. They want a bunch of out of shape, lazy, narcissistic, victimhood mindset, lethargic, you see, morbid mindset. They want you to have, this ideology and this feeling of no hope. They don't want you to be a creator and an innovator. They don't want you to be artistically creative and innovative. Nope. They don't want you to be an owner and a producer. They want you to have the same low vibrational, weak mindsets so you can spend the rest of your life working for somebody else while they stay filthy rich. You see? Sad, man. It's sad, but this is what I believe happened to Kevin Samuels. And nobody can convince me otherwise. Nobody. All right? I mean, come on, man. Like I said, look, just look. Look at this shit. Less than 2 weeks after the face of feminism gets exposed on a global scale, and the face of feminism loses millions of followers, right? And then he died only 3 days before Mother's Day, and his main audience, right, were single mothers. That was his main target in the audience. You know what I'm saying? He gets taken out right before Mother's Day, right after the goddamn face of feminism gets exposed and embarrassed. Come on now. You already know that the elites, they hate to take L's. The elites, they hate to take L's. And Kevin Samuels was causing them to take L's. They don't like that. So if they can't find a reason to terminate your YouTube, they hire a very sexually attractive woman to come your way and take your ass out. That's right. That's right. They hire what you see. They take note of what you have an infatuation with. They take note of what your weaknesses are. And then that's what they use to get to you, to either sabotage you or to kill you. And that's what the fuck they did to Kevin Samuels. God damn it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So that's all I had to say on this topic. All right. This is my take on the whole Kevin Samuels situation. I believe this is what I believe happened to him, man. You know, you guys can continue to spread that mainstream propaganda bullshit about the fucking Red Bull and the Viagra. I'm not buying it. I ain't buying it because I know the history and the track record of this nation, and they ain't getting over on me, and they ain't playing me. And like I said, this video, this channel is going to be specifically for relationship advice for men and women, and I'm going to be breaking down the history of human genders, right? So stay tuned for that, all right? So, yep, this was my first video. There will be many, many more to come, so just, you know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout for it. I appreciate all of the subscribers. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's RFG. It's Jordan Amo Apoxia. All right? Man, I appreciate every last one of you guys, one of you supporters. I appreciate you guys. I would not be able to do what I do on a consistent basis if it wasn't for all of you. All right? So please stay safe out there. Peace and love. It's the chosen one. I'm out.